Okay, yeah, you're cute.
What's going on, guys? So with this whole virus situation, I understand a lot of us are without the gym or we just have very limited equipment. So I decided to put together a little at-home body weight series for you. Today is gonna be full upper body. Next workout I post will be full lower body, and I feel like that'll just be an ideal split for most people, right? Like not everybody's gonna be working out 6 days a week. Some people only wanna work out 3-4 days a week, and that way you're still getting in good frequency, hitting each muscle group twice a week. And on top of that, if you are somebody who's wanting to get in 6 days a week, then you're gonna be hitting each muscle group up to 3 times a week, which again will just be a lot better since we aren't gonna be able to use much weight, or most people aren't gonna have access to much weight or any weight at all, right? So the whole point will be to keep pushing for some level of progression, keep pushing ourselves to muscular fatigue. The point is, guys, we can continue to see progress during this time. I'd say you're a little bit inhibited if your main goal is muscle growth, but you can still see some gains. And if your main goal is fat loss right now, we can still see the same level of progress. Okay, so the upper body workout I'm gonna be showing you today, you don't need any equipment, but I'm gonna show you some variations you can do if you do happen to have some bands or some extra stuff, just to make it more difficult and maybe work up to, you know, just to keep aiming for progression and keep pushing yourself. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start out with a towel pull down. On all of these exercises, because we're using a lack of weight, we're gonna wanna push for higher reps. So generally like 15 to 20 reps, if not more. And then something else I'd recommend too, just for like giving yourself some form of periodization, is to switch between like faster tempo, higher rep days versus super slow controlled days. You know, just another way to switch it up. But getting into this towel pull down, now obviously if you have a pull-up bar, that's ideal. Like if you have a pull-up bar, you're good to go. But if not, a towel pull down is a really good option. And believe it or not, you can actually make it really challenging. Just roll up a towel, and you're gonna wanna think about trying to separate the towel as hard as you can through the entire motion. Like even right there, you can see my lats contracting. So you'll get down on your stomach, pull apart. You can keep your feet up to keep the lower back engaged as well. Next, I'm gonna show you a band variation. I'm using Draper's strength bands. You can use regular bands with handles. I had some over there, but those are totally fine. These are just, I really like these. They're really good quality, high resistance, a couple different options. Just really like them. Here we're gonna be doing a straight arm lat pull down. And the main reason being is that the isolation is gonna offer a lot more resistance, since, you know, we can't really go up weight too much with these things. You know, you're just gonna get a lot more out of a isolation movement here. So we wrap it around the door. Make sure it's tight so it doesn't fling off at you. One other thing you can do is actually loop your hands, just so you don't even have to think about holding it. Separate. So next up we have the towel row. So again, you can create a lot of tension here. One, I like to go reverse grip underhand. Just get a better squeeze there. Those kind of look stupid at first glance. I thought the same thing, but then you do it and you make a very intentional effort to place as much tension on here as possible. And I'm telling you, you get a killer contraction. Do 15 and 20 of those, you'll be feeling it for sure. Another option here would be doing a reverse snow angel if you wanted to switch it up or just not use a towel or whatever. Another option would be the banded row, banded two-hand row. can even swap between alternating or single arm. All right, so next up we'll go into an archer push-up. So I really like this one because it isolates each of the pecs and it's just really challenging, makes it harder. Odds are your reps are gonna be a bit lower for this one. If you're unable to do these, you can just stick to a decline or a regular push-up or a knee push-up. And if you wanna make it tougher, you can go hit all of them on one side first. And if you happen to have bands, this is another great way to add some resistance here on just your normal push-up. Then we're going into an incline push-up. You can use your couch, table, anything you got. An incline diamond push-up to really get that upper inner chest just up. And one little thing I like to do here on the way up is rotate my pinkies up a little bit, just to squeeze the upper chest really hard. And then you can also throw in an incline banded push-up for a little extra resistance. Into a pike shoulder press. These are actually pretty damn hard. So your rep range should be, you should be able to get it down to around 10 reps at first. So here, the closer into yourself you get, the more vertical you are, the harder it's gonna be. So you can make it easier by going out a little bit more, almost more to a decline. Bring your feet in a little bit closer, even go down to the ground here and just start there. And then two other options, if you guys have a band, you can go shoulder press. Or you could go to a front raise. If you have no equipment at all, the best thing you can do for your lateral delts, it's probably gonna be a static hold against a couch or a wall or something. Start with like 10 seconds, work your way up to 30 seconds or even up to a minute long hold, or break it up into like 4 15-second segments. But right here, get in nice and close, press in as hard as you can. And something you can do is hold there until it gets really hard, and then get a little bit away. Same thing, hold till it gets really hard, a little bit away, really hard. So that way you're placing tension on different lengths of the muscle. Ideally for lateral delts, you'll have a band, you can place it under the foot of the couch there. That's ideal. Step away a little bit. This way we get that tension across the full range of motion. One of the best movements for rear delts, if you have zero equipment at all, is gonna be the reverse fly static hold. Same thing as the lateral delt. Start at 10-15 seconds, work your way up to 30 seconds or even up to a minute. Take those elbows into the floor, feet up a little bit, press yourself up, squeeze those shoulder blades together and hold. And if you need to help yourself, you can straighten your legs. It'll help you get up a little bit higher. If you want to make it harder, bring them in closer. You can even pulse it out. And the ideal option for the rear delts would be a reverse band fly here. A really good movement movement you can do from home for triceps is gonna be a couch dip. So you can use a table, couch, whatever. Get here. Going in for a dip. Good squeeze at the top. You can straighten out your legs to make it harder. You could progress into a body up or a plank push up here. And if you have a band, kickback would be really good to throw in. Okay guys, so unfortunately if you don't have a pull-up bar or weights or bands, biceps are gonna be pretty hard to isolate, but you can do a movement with a towel that kind of hits some triceps too. It's interesting, and it's gonna be as hard as you make it. I like to start from an extension. So it's gonna be a tricep extension first with my right arm, and I'm gonna resist with my left arm. So that's working my left bicep on the way down and my right tricep on the way down. When I come up, focusing on curling through my left and resisting through my right, back and forth. And it's actually a really good contraction if you make it hard on yourself. All right, so then we're gonna be doing a banded Bayesian curl. So you're gonna take a few steps out. That way your elbow is slightly behind you. Curl up. It's gonna be a really good contraction right there, similar to an incline dumbbell curl. You could even switch it up and go hammers. Hell, even from here you could go into an overhead extension. All right guys, so that does it for today's upper body at home workout. I hope you got something from it. Remember that if you continue to push yourself through these at home workouts, push yourself to fatigue, stay on point with your nutrition, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to continue seeing progress. So anyways, with that said, last thing I wanna add on is that if you're a beginner, you can start with just 2 sets, 5 to 10 reps, work up to 3 to 4 sets of 15 to 20 reps, and that can be a way that you set some goals and try to push for progressive overload. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be putting up the lower body edition here shortly.